going on, everybody? It's your man Mike Deloach bringing you another video. And I think some people are taking advantage of this mask thing. You know, and it's a fine line, you know, because look at these motherfuckers. Because here it is. The mask mandate has been lifted for a good month now, at least. You know what I mean? And you know, when it first happened, and this is one thing I noticed even when I went back to Georgia, like Georgia's restrictions wasn't like New Mexico's, but you still had people, you know, who were still weary, you know, about, you know, the virus or whatnot, because even when it comes to shaking hands, you have some people who still wouldn't shake your hand, they would just pound you. You know what I mean? And at first, and it was one of my uncles, like he would always pound. And you know, some of my uncles dap me up, shake my hand. And I had to think about it. I was like, you know, some people still a little wary about, you know, contact and, you know, passing on things. So anyway, like here, you were still, when it was lifted, you still had people who were wearing their masks, such in Georgia too, even though the restrictions were not like New Mexico. People in Georgia would still wear their masks. So same thing here, even though it's been lifted, you still have some people who are still weary and who still wear their masks. Nothing wrong with that, right? Like I said, it's a fine line. You know, people still, you know, don't know, uncertain, or, you know, they have their thoughts and opinions about it, and they feel the need to still wear masks in certain environments, whether it's be going out in public in the grocery store, or if it's just being around a lot of people in a smaller space. You know what I mean? But I say all of that to say this, as far as people taking advantage, because yes, there is a fine line. People have their thoughts and opinions about it. However, you have different elements of, like I said, people taking advantage. One thing I noticed the other day, kind of funny story, I thought about it. You know, you would go out on, you know, that Friday night or the weekend. Let's just say you went out one night on your day off, and you know, you ran into some strange. You got you some strange that night. You know what I mean? And let's say, you know, or like I said, that next morning, as they call it, the walk of shame. You had that walk of shame. So some women, you know, after they may have a one-nighter, for somebody they just meet for the first time, that next morning they'll have that walk of shame, you know. However, I've noticed, you know, women can almost hide that walk of shame with the mask, you know what I'm saying? Granted, we just now going into the spring season, so like, it was still kind of cool because we even got snow, excuse me, like the first or second day of spring. But you know, girls can rock that hoodie and wear that mask, and so even when she is having that walk of shame, you really can't tell who she is, so it's not as shameful if she can cover her face with that hoodie. You know what I mean? And so that's one way I've noticed females taking advantage. And now as far as the men taking advantage, like, I made a video about this too, like bank robberies in Albuquerque, you know. And so like the thing is, and usually at my bank they check your member ID before you really even get too far in there. But anyway, men have been using that to take advantage and robbing banks. You know, they have their mask, they have that hat that's covering their eyes, and so it's hard to identify who this person is unless they got other characteristics that stand out. One thing that's been catching people is tattoos. You know, people got tattoos on their hand. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that camera's been catching, these hand tattoos. Or, you know, if you didn't go in there with a you know, sleeves on your shirt and they caught a forearm tattoo or something, that's what's been giving people away. Or unless, you know, your hairstyle was, you know, something to remember, which of course that could be altered, but, you know, definitely tattoos has been a giveaway. But at the end of the day, the thing is, like I said, people have been taking advantage because it's this fine line of wearing the mask versus not wearing the mask, you know. And at one point, wearing masks was normal, so you can't sit here and You know, back in the day, you know, if somebody came in with a mask right away, it was on some criminal activities, because like, shoot, who normally wears a mask in public? Nobody, right? But wearing a mask became a norm. So now, if somebody comes into a bank with a mask, you don't know if they a legit customer or if they coming to rob you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I say. I think people been taking advantage of the whole mask scenario. You know, even though there is a fine line, you know, but I ain't gonna make this too quick, you know what I'm saying? I just kind of wanted you to think about that, man. And like I said, if you agree, let me know. If you disagree, let me know as well. Leave that in the comments below. If you like the video, and worst case scenario, share the video as well, you know. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and be sure to hit that notification bell and select all notifications as well. But that's all I got for now. It's your man, Mike Deloach, and until next time, we'll holler back.